Hey ninjas, I'm Seppi, and today I'm going to show you how to use your Katana website to create parallax sections. It's super simple. Once you watch how I've done it, you're going to be able to get out there and create tons of parallax sections on your own website to kind of capture more attention and keep people engaged on your pages for longer. So today I'm working on the wallaceandgreen.ca website. I have created a page that I've called Parallax. This is hidden from their navigation, so it's just kind of a special page that I've created to work here and show you how this works. So if I were to scroll down just to show you this page, I've already added a 2-column section here with a photo and some default text. We've got a testimonials widget. We've got a featured properties widget, which is showing all of their sold properties. And then if you keep scrolling, I've also added a 3-column content widget here, where I've got 1, 2, 3 different call to actions that we're going to link. And then we've got a form, as well as their quick contact section footer at the bottom. So, you know, this is already a great page. If this was the home page of their site, it would look nice. I mean, it's got photos, it's got listings, it's got testimonials, it's got all the kind of good stuff that you need, including a form to capture leads at the bottom. And call to actions to kind of direct your traffic. So this is a great page, but how can we bring it to life a little bit more? So Parallax is a great way to do that. So for starters, I'm going to start off by converting this 1-column section into a parallax section. In order to do that, basically we go to the page layout and widgets up here, click that, and you're going to get all of the widgets that I've added to this page. So there's the header, and then there's the 1-column content, which is this area here that says parallax. And then we've got the 2 columns, which is the photo and the text, testimonials, the sold listings, and so on. So let's start with the 1 column at the top where it says parallax. So if I click on this cog icon, I'll get into the options. And from here right now, you'll see that we've got this gray color as a background. What we want to do is just leave that as it is, because when we put the parallax photo in there, it's going to override the color. So you don't need to remove that. You can just leave that how it is. So I've already uploaded a few files into the Wallace and Green website, into their media gallery, so I don't need to re-upload them. I am also going to give you guys these files to download after you're done watching this video. So after the video, just scroll down a bit and you'll be able to download all these files in a little bundle. But for starters here, I'm just going to click choose from library, and I'm going to pick this nice dark image here, and we're going to put it to parallax. So that's all I'm going to do for now. Actually, let's do no parallax first, just so you can see what happens if we apply the changes and save. And this is now without parallax. You'll see that this image appeared here, but if I scroll, nothing happens to that image. That image is just kind of fixed and locked in place. So now if we go back to the page layout and widgets, and we click back into that 1 column, and now we'll check parallax and turn it on. Now if I go back and save changes, you'll see that that's kind of zoomed in a little bit to give it some room to play. And then if I scroll, you'll see that that image doesn't move. So if I scroll up or down, that image of that house is kind of staying still in the background. Gives kind of a really neat movement effect. Another thing that I'll want to tweak here is, because this is a darker backdrop, we have dark text here, which makes it really hard to read. So let's just invert the colors of that text. We'll go back to the page layout and widgets, go back to the options for that 1 column, and then we're just going to click here to invert text colors on this widget. And we'll apply changes and save changes, and boom. So that's a nice light color here now. Great. So we've got a little bit of a moving header. As soon as you get here and start scrolling, that kind of captures your attention. A lot better than just a gray backdrop. Okay, so now we've got this photo and the text here. This is a 2-column, and what we can do is we can add a parallax here as well. Sometimes it doesn't look so great when you do 2 parallax sections right after another. It can look good, it can be tasteful if done properly, but I try to generally avoid it so that you have 1 parallax section and 1 white section. But let's see what happens when you just do 2 parallax sections here back to back. So we'll go to the page layout widgets again. Page layout and widget, sorry. And then we'll find that the next one in line, the next widget, is the content 2 columns with a main and a side section. The main section would be the photo here, the large main section, and then the side section is just this text area. So if we click into that, again, same kind of options. We can choose from media gallery, and let's pick a nice white, a lighter color this time. Perfect, and click Parallax Effect on this background image and apply changes. And save, and voila. So you'll see this was a lighter color, so it's a little bit less noticeable. You can still see this photo, it all stands out, and it's still legible, the text here. So now if we scroll, you'll see how everything's kind of moving. That top one, that top parallax section that we created, it kind of slides right into this next parallax section. So this doesn't look too bad. It's still not my favorite thing, but this kind of works. But you can see how if you were to do multiple of these, right after another, it could get a little bit crazy and a little bit too much visually, actually. So again, I'm going to revert this one back. I'm going to go to this 2 column, and I'm going to remove the parallax, and I'm going to delete the image. So there's no parallax on this second section. Great. Back to white. Now that we scroll down, we want the testimonial section to kind of stand out a bit. So we're going to put a parallax background on this. So let's go back into our page layout and widgets and go to the testimonials. Great. So we've already entered a couple testimonials here. Now just going to choose a photo. Let's do this pink one here, the rose one. We'll set parallax effect on background image and apply changes. Save changes, and boom, there you go. So that looks a lot better. It just kind of brings it to life all of a sudden, brings a section to life, and differentiates it from this previous 2 column section. So now if we scroll back to the top and start scrolling, you see movement at the top there, and then you see have this other really nice movement piece. Not only is the backdrop parallax, so it's kind of remaining fixed while you scroll, which creates a nice effect, but the testimonial slider itself also moves, which just gives you that much more engagement with the page. Great. So let's stick to our rule of thumb of not doing 2 parallax sections right after another. That way we've got one parallax section, a little strip of white here with content on it, another parallax section, another white kind of widget area, and I especially don't like to do parallax on these listing, on the featured properties widgets, because there's already so many photos, there's already so many visuals here. So when you put a background parallax image on it, or even just a background image that's not parallax, it becomes a little bit overwhelming for the eyes, trying to focus on reading everything, trying to focus on all the images, and also the background image can become a bit daunting. So I usually try to stay away from parallax and background images when it comes to these widgets. But if I keep scrolling, we've got this 3 column widget that we've added that's got 3 call to actions on it. So first things first, let's go and add the links. Oops. So if I click edit this page, if you missed that, when I click edit the page at the top, all the editable regions become yellow, which means you can just go in there and type anything in there. So if you scroll down, you'll find this area here. We're going to highlight these and link them to their internal page on the site. This one's called Meet the Team. So we're going to link that here, add link. Great. The Wallace Green Advantage, we're going to link that one again to an internal page on the website. We'll scroll down to W Wallace Green Advantage. Great. And finally, the advantages of buying pre-sale. We'll link that to another internal page, and boom. Great. So now these are linked, and if I save the page, they're actually hyperlinked, and I can click them to go to the other page, to the call to action page. But they don't really stand out. It's just black text against a white background. The font is nice, but it's just black and white. So how do we bring this to life again? Let's throw a background image behind this. Now, despite this being a 3 column section, each column doesn't get its own background image. You get to actually throw a background image behind all of it. So let's do that. Let's go to page layout and widgets. We will find our 3 column widget here and click into it to modify it. And then we will go choose from media library. I'm going to pick, let's pick this dark one right here. It's just like a dark polygon shaped image. And we'll put it to parallax, and we will invert text colors as well, because that's a dark image, and so we want light text instead of dark text. So we're going to invert that and apply changes. So once I click save changes, that whole 3 column section is going to look drastically different. Boom. Great. So that looks good. I mean, I think that the little polygon background is a little bit hard to notice. I still think this looks great and a lot sharper and definitely stands out more, but let's just tweak that. So really easily, I just come back here and I find that 3-column widget. I click into it and I'll delete this image and choose another one. Let's choose this photo here. Perfect. It was still a dark photo, so we're going to keep those text colors inverted. We'll keep the parallax on and apply changes and save. That looks a bit better. Great. That way you actually see a photo back there. And the cool thing now is that this final parallax section also matches the top parallax section that we did up here. It's that same image. And so there's kind of a continuity in the back end. So you go scrolling through here, you see kind of the interior of this home, back to a white section, and then back to that house as you keep scrolling. So that looks kind of great, and not only does it break the sections of this website up, of this web page up, but it just kind of brings the sections to life a little bit more and makes it a little bit more fun to scroll through this page and engage with the content. One of the big things you're trying to do on your website is to keep people's attention and to keep them from arriving here and then leaving right away. You want to keep them on this page for longer than 5-6 seconds. So these parallax sections can really help with that. That alone can really boost your SEO. So these kind of micro optimizations are really, really important. So I hope that this has kind of shown you how easy it can be to go create parallax sections on your own Realty Ninja, on your own Katana website. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us. Our support team is also willing to create these parallax sections for you. And if you don't have a Katana site yet, I will include a link in the bottom of this blog post, as well as in the description of this video, to get your hands on your own unlimited free trial and start playing around with the site builder and see what kind of amazing website you can create. Thanks so much, ninjas, and hope you have an awesome day.